If you have around 5 minutes, I'm going to show how you can recreate this in Photoshop. The first thing you're going to want to do is go down to the rectangle tool and then select the option that's right under it. I think you pronounce it ellipse tool. And then you're going to want to create an oval shape kind of like this. It doesn't have to be the exact shape that I did, but just something similar. You want that curve that you can see right there with the line. And then I created a solid color layer, and I made it black to start with, but I do change it here in a second. And if you're confused on any of the terms that I'm using and you don't know exactly how to make a solid color layer or anything, you can slow it down to see exactly what I'm clicking. But I'm going to try to do the terminology to the best of my ability. And then I inserted his number, which is 0 from the internet, and I like to get like a nice bold one like that. So I just looked up number 0 varsity font, and it gave me a pretty good one. And then right here, what I was doing was just putting the first camera raw filter on this player graphic, because a lot of the graphics that I get sometimes they definitely need a little bit of enhancing, and whenever you add camera raw filters, it usually really helps. But like you can see right here, the before and after, it's much better afterwards in my opinion. And then as you can see here, there was some leftover stuff that got brought onto the graphic with the player picture. So I'm just using the brush tool here to delete all of that. And then I skip forward because it was just me deleting it. And then I wanted it to look like the player was fading behind the number 0 right here and have his leg kind of stick out. And I also do change that in a minute, but I like how it looks for the most part, fading away or fading into the 0. And then the next thing I did was add in the next player picture that I was going to use for the graphic. And I added a camera raw filter immediately because I wanted to try to get most of the player brought into the graphic and not have to use the brush tool to erase a bunch of stuff like the last one. And then right here, I was just adding in the last picture that I was going to use. And the shift edge thing right here is just whenever you slide it to the right, it brings in more of the graphic, and whenever you slide it to the left, it erases like the stuff on the outside of the graphic. So you want to try to not have any like black or white lines that are outlining the player. And then the next thing I did right here was add another ellipse tool, like we did at the beginning. So besides the rectangle, we just do another circle one or oval. And I changed the color to blue, to the UCLA blue. And then I added some text, as you can see, and some logos. And I'm not going to go over that just because it's pretty self-explanatory. You just use whatever font you think looks good, and you can get your fonts from online. There's a bunch of free sites. If you want me to go over some good websites that I use, I can definitely drop a short video on that and show that. But the main website that I use is dafont.com. So they have a lot of good stuff. And I just like to add in certain things to try to enhance the graphic a little bit and make it pop a little bit more. And then right here, I just went down to the first oval that we made using the ellipse tool, and I held down Command and J at the same time so I could copy it, and then I brought it up here to the top part of the graphic I thought it kind of looked cool. And then where I wrote Game Day in the top left corner, I went ahead and added another layer over that and created a clipping mask by double clicking on the layer, and then I went over to the gradient tool and I just I added a white layer so that I could see or a white effect so that we could see the game day part a little bit better. And if you slow it down and pause it, you can see exactly what I did, but it's just going over to the gradient tool after creating a clipping mask over the text layer, and then just adding in like white or black to make it pop more. but I can definitely make another video going into more detail on that. And then after you do that, here's the final result. If you want more videos like this and enjoy this type of content, please let me know. And thank you for watching.